Well, good evening everyone. Welcome back to another stream to be Overthunk by Sharky. We are back here for another week in a row of a little bit more Jaffa Factory. And last time we did a lot of odds and ends and things, and a little bit of construction work in preparation for the future. We're going to continue that this week. We're going to keep kind of laying down a bit of foundational things as we get underway. So settle in for another nice chill session of kind of town planning and things. We'll see where that takes us. At some point we'll actually start building a Jaffa factory. You never know. If we make incredible progress tonight, we might start thinking of block pallets and getting those sorts of things mapped out. I will say at the outset though, we've had such a good streak of streaming several weeks in a row. That is going to be halted briefly next week. I know through January and into February we had a streak of about 4 weeks of not streaming. It's okay, it's not going to be that bad, hopefully. Hopefully it's just 1 week. I think just next week. See how we go. Don't quote me on this, but just next week we might have to skip the stream, and so after this week's session we'll probably be back in 2 weeks. But that's fine, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not count our emu's eggs before they hatch. I see that egg poking around there behind our Fletcher. Nice. Alright, well, let's get into things. Last time I seem to recall, apart from doing a bunch of odds and ends, like fixing up some barrels and things, we started... Oh, you're still here. And you're still here too. Everyone's right where we left them. You've still got your head buried in the wall. And you're still checking out our new pavement. It actually looks quite nice from that distance there. Still, you know, a little bit up in the air about the edges here maybe. You know, it's acceptable. And honestly, I think it's a case of close enough is good enough. Like, We could probably tweak these sorts of things forever, but it seems quite good. We've got our black as black road surface. We've got some railed black concrete to kind of give us some dividing lines down the center. A little bit of what appears to be like a gravelly edge of the road, which is actually just the black concrete powder. Heading into some copycat slabs that are using the texture of these flint blocks. Underneath these are actual flint blocks, which is probably pretty silly. We don't really need to do that, so we could probably swap that out for just anything for the sake of copy paste. So we might do that in a bit. Several little things sort of come to mind. One of them is, I feel like at the end of last stream, and I didn't look this up, but I feel like at the end of last stream, maybe I had an idea or Katooth had a suggestion or something about another thing to try varying, and I said, yep, file that away for next time. Can't remember what it is. I know we made a last minute change to make this pillar deep slate bricks around the edge here. I don't remember what the other possible variation of something. Maybe it was with these slabs here. I don't remember. So it hopefully wasn't that important if I can't remember it. Other thing that comes to mind is one of the things we said about this road system is I'd be keen to run like power poles, like telegraph poles, at sort of increments along parallel to the road edge, you know, kind of mimicking real life. And instead of power lines, I can run, well, I literally can. I can run power lines in the form of, you know, the energy cables and things through there. I could also run, you know, the ME cabling as well to send computer access along there. So it's like the power line, the fiber optic line, all that kind of stuff. I could even maybe can I see any from my vantage point here? I could even maybe looking for, here we go, yeah, shaft. I could even maybe send some shafts along there or something to transmit rotational power, so I can have electrical power, mechanical power, and computer access transmitted alongside of power lines. So the reason I mention that is because if we're thinking of repeating this duplicating sort of block thing, we might want to think about what a kind of telegraph pole arrangement looks like within one of these blocks to kind of get a sense for what that can look like as we start to copy it around, whether we need one or two sort of poles per chunk or something, like how frequently they'd appear. So there's that as well. On top of that, we need to think about the actual copying process. I'll just sleep in the middle of the tracks here. We've got ourselves a building gadget, which we use for some nice building projects and some cleaning up the dirt and things like that. But we might also want to get ourselves a copy-paste gadget now. Be a bit brave and look at trying to copy-paste this section. Don't worry, it's not cheating. You still need all the same materials, but it's just a faster form of building. And it lends itself nicely to this chunk layout sort of system. So we might investigate that too. But before any of that, and maybe as a brief distraction, I did say we started doing this last time, fixing up these barrels and things, so that these aren't clogged anymore and the barrels can slowly fill up with loads and loads of things. 1,000 to each stack, which should keep this going basically forever. But we had a few that we didn't get to. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them that are still in the old system. But we should have enough iron now, more than enough iron, to fill these up. Plenty of computer space too, now that we've got these 3 empty stack upgraded barrels up the top. And I think, yeah, we've got 400 iron in there, but there's also way more iron over here coming out of the wheelie setup. There we go, look at that, I can see some gold dropping out there. Gets us iron as a byproduct, doesn't it? So let's get these 6 barrels out and think about what we needed for them. We need 12 upgrades. I don't remember what they were called. These things. Stack upgrade. That'll help. Stack upgrade. So we need 12 of these. Which means we need 12 of these. Which means we need 12 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. So 12 of them. Which gets us up to... and so we're going to need a heap of these. Probably 24 of them. And I might just make 32. There we go. How much iron does that actually leave us in the computer? Oh, like 100, but... And now that I've made all that, still like just under 100. 90. With like 8 blocks of it. So, yep, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Let me think this through. So we had this whole process here of pick up, put down, replace kind of thing. Like, it was pick that up, put that down, stick a barrel in there, put 2 of them in there, extract everything, and then transfer matching. Right, that was our speedy process, and I probably should leave that there for that. Okay. Right. So pick that one up, put it there, stick a barrel in there, stick in some upgrades, extract them, transfer matching, chop the chest. Nice. Getting our rhythm back slightly. Put that one in there. Whoops. Oh, hello. Have you come to watch? Or are you a different guy? I honestly don't remember. Player damage plate. Causes player damage to anything that walks on it. As in to only players or to mobs? Interesting. That's okay. Thank you for the offer, Aubrey. Not interested right now. Alright. There we go. So, they're coming along nicely. 1,300 kelp in each of them. Again, we do not need this much kelp. Like, we are just unnecessarily getting ridiculous amounts of these now. And so maybe as part of this we should actually think a bit about what we really do need. But that's fine. That's fine. We can have millions of resources that we don't actually need. It's not like they're currently clogging up the computer. They're just clogging up these chests. Which I can live with for now. Excuse me. Excuse me. I know it's exciting, but you don't really need to get in on the action. Okay, that should be done. 6 chests replaced. These have all now got 1,500, 1,500, 1,500 sugarcane in them. 1,300 kelp in there. 1,300 of them mushrooms. Loads of them, like yeah, 1,300, 1,400 of each of these sorts of things. Less than 1,000 coconut logs. That's because we moved a heap of them to the computer. 1,000 of them, 1,300 of them, 1,300 of them. That seems to be the magic number. That'll be some indication of the number of minutes or seconds or something that these things have been ticking away for. And then in the middle here, wheat, potatoes, carrots, bamboo. Yep. Mountain of space. What have we got in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 9, 6 are 54, so 54 times 2 to the 10, so over 50,000 of these things we can easily store, which should do us forever. You're really getting in the way, guys. Good evening in the chat there, Katooth. Thanks for tuning in. We're just fiddling around a little bit to start with, getting distracted with finishing off those barrel swap outs from last time. I'll just check in on the gold sitch over here and things. You're going along nicely. We've just got lots of random stuff in here. Oh, this is what it was. That's what it was. I said at the start of the stream that maybe there was some sort of block substitution that we could have done with the road surface, and I couldn't remember what it was, and that if I can't remember it mustn't be too important, but I think it was blackstone, because we would have done exactly this at the end of last week. I would have looked at this and saw all this blackstone and thought, that's interesting. 183 gold, doing amazingly well. Let's feed a half stack of them to you, just because we're feeling generous. We might get a bit more blackstone. So this is looking, yeah, 5k, nearly 6k cobble. Everything else is again going up slightly as well too. So this is going to be a problem at some point soon. That is going to jam full. So maybe we take a moment to just put an extra drill on some other things, since we've maxed out our cobble drilling. We've only got 2 and 2. We've only got 4 out of 10 for that. Oops, that was not what I intended. And what have we got here? Is this? Oh, there's no drill here. Yeah, 4 out of 10 for this. Yeah, we didn't do this end one because they kept popping off the ends, didn't they? Oh, I've done it again. Yeah, that's why they've got a shaft in there but no drill. Yep, so we could go in the middle a bit more. And similarly here, we've got 4 out of 10 there. So just do an extra one more, a third one on each of these sides to go up to 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more of these drills. 6 more mechanical drills. Which needs some things again. What are they going to need? Mechanical drill. What's that? Wow, spawn fluid drowned bucket. Mechanical spawners. Amazing. That's right. Andesite casing, andesite alloy, iron ingots. Yep. So the andesite, which we just never have enough of. But it's just zinc nuggets and andesite, so we're rolling in that. We've got a heap of zinc here, we've got a heap of andesite over there. There should be a bunch of this in the computer, but let me just move a stack of it, because I feel like we should have some in the computer. And andesite. Let's take a stack of that too. And let's go sleep in a normal bed for once, since we keep throwing down our bed wherever we happen to be. There we go. Andesite, zinc. Oh, wait a minute. It's it's nuggets, that's right. Okay, yeah, well, this is a load of it. That's fine. So There we go. Andesite, zinc. There's a stack of that. Let's put all this zinc and zinc nuggets in the computer. And the casing is just, yeah, with a log. So what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So I just need 6 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And let's stick all that in. There we go. Take my inside alloy back out. There we go. Alright. Let us go. You're going to check out the water wheels now, are you? Pop that andesite alloy back there. We'll stick some extra drills in. Very carefully add them. One more. Oh, wait, we're going to need more shafts. Oh. 6 drills need 6 shafts. Don't have any shafts, but that's the job of the andesite alloy, right? Yep, there's 8 shafts. Excuse me. Go ride a windmill or something. Always in this water. Okay, so one there, one there. One there, one there, one there, and that one was lag. I blame that one on the lag. And I can't even see over there. On there. So, and we just put some shafts in. Okay. Now, a thought comes to mind. And the thought is actually, why did I even do that? Did I do the exact opposite of what we needed to do? I wanted to be using up andesite, diorite, and granite faster. I've just made them faster. Why did we actually do that? I think that's the exact opposite of what we wanted to do. I think I wanted to turn some of these drills off, and we've just made even more. Because we just talked about this chest is going to get clogged pretty soon. And that didn't help the situation. That's done the exact opposite. What am I thinking? We can't make the rest of the system any faster. Unless we make more basins. 4 is a nice amount. Like, we've got this nice kind of flower pattern of them going. We have to make way more. What have we done? Where's the wrench? We just like, we paying 0 attention and like, yes, you now have an adjustable system where you can change your rock ratios. Yeah, I need to switch off some of these drills. What I'd like to be able to do, assuming the wrench will let me, is take some of these out. That's taking all of them out. I mean, it worked. I got the belt back, but that's not what I wanted. Connect you with you. Do I just have to pick them? No, because that's looking at the belt Yeah, I'm technically looking at the belt, I'm not looking at the shaft. Can I... Is there any way to look at the shaft? No, it's not. The shaft is part of the belt. Okay. Okay, there is no way to do this. All the belts are coming off. Alright. So... There we go. So... That one and that one. Cobble's fine. So, this is how it was before we added the extra drills. I just want less of this other stuff. So, I'm just going to turn off... No, not like that. Like that. And that. Aggressively turning off lots of them. That one. And that one. And over the other side. That one. And that one. These half-drilled blocks are just going to be half-drilled forever. That's just the nature of what they are. And now we just reattach all the belts. There's probably a super smart way of doing this where you can like apply a redstone signal to the side of the drill to stop it from turning. Like that would make way more sense. Yeah, this is not a very adjustable system. Yes, I got that impression too. Let me just try that obvious thing that I just said. What happens if I apply a redstone signal to the side of a drill? Can I just literally switch it off? Stick, stone, lever. Can I turn the component off? Like... Nope, I can't even attach a lever to the block. I can do that. But that does nothing. That's powering the granite. And there's no like quasi connectivity here. Like don't even know how I do this. Like I can't run like a redstone up to it. Nah, it's fine. It seemed like a good idea, but if I can't even place a lever on the side of the drill, then no, it's not a thing. I'm sure I could make like a clutch thing or something with the belts to like adjust how many of them are on at a time, but no, I don't think that's happening either. I think we just turn the system up or down by adding or removing shafts as we need them. Put some of them in there, put that back there. Okay, so you should have gobbled up all that gold well and truly by now. You've actually filled that chest. Is there stuff in the hopper? There's not. Sort. I will take those ender pearls though. And so we should definitely think about using up some of this blackstone maybe. Let's put those ender pearls in the computer and let's see what we can make with blackstone and then whether it looks any good. I mean, at some point I just swap this chest for a barrel. It's really how this should go. And in fact, maybe I do that now. Because some of this ought to just be stacked better. And these ancient hulks... And in fact, some of this should just be binned. I don't need this many copies of some of these things. But blackstone... well, first off, is there a way to make it? Sure, crushing all these sorts of things. Gets it. An igneous extruder can technically make it. Okay, I can haunt cobblestone into blackstone. Perfect. So there is actually a way to make it that doesn't involve the piglin trading. I can just haunt cobble. So that's good to know. Right. So now that I know I can get infinite amounts of it, I can make blackstone bricks. Make polished blackstone. Oh wow, there's literally a checker block. That's exciting. Twisting blackstone. Can use it for regular stone recipes. That's actually a furnace, but a blackstone furnace. Wow. What's that? Blackstone lamp. And just all the boring things you can make with it. Blackstone column. And so then of course you can anvil. Oh. Wow. Sure, for repairing, like with stone. So stone cutting, yes, you can cut it into things. Sure, you can grow in things. So in the mason's workbench, yes, we can get textures and patterns to it that are kind of similar to some of the others. And all these sorts of things. So let me just take a stack of it. Oh, wow. Let's have a nap here in the rain. Sleeping out in the open. So, oh wow, that's spitting blocks out the back here. That's not good. So, we're definitely not replacing the road because that's too nice. I think it was like maybe these pillar deep slate bricks. So I feel like these copycat slabs are probably fine how they are. So maybe it was just about this. So the pillar deep slate bricks. So was there a similar sort of pillared version? Is that one? Pillar blackstone bricks. It's just that bit darker again. Was that what we were thinking about, maybe? It'd be quite dark. It'd make like these copycat slabs like the lightest part of things. Just looking at all the other patterns here that these things make. Yeah, I'll just make one or two. Well, I'm gonna say one or two, but I'm gonna actually turn the stack probably. I'm gonna turn the stack into these things. Because I can always turn it back, right? I assume. Which one is it? That one. It doesn't really show because it's tessellating the wrong way. But this one, right? Looks dark in my hand. Oh, you've gone for a ride now. Yeah, it's got a different tone entirely. It's picking up another kind of hue in there. Like, is it blue or red or something? Like it's picking up a bit of extra something now. Like at least this has the grayness of things. That's got something else entirely. I don't know that it would replace the gravel, like even with a gravelier version of this. You know, like using one of these. Oh, that's just regular blackstone. Yeah, just changing it to like regular blackstone or this carved blackstone, something that's a little bit more crumbly looking on the surface. I don't even think that would. That massive blackstone bricks. I don't think that would necessarily replace this. So no, I think that's just That's just a no-go. I don't think we're using blackstone in the roads, unfortunately. So that's fine. That's just a miscellaneous building material. Maybe we can find a use for it in other places. But for now, can I change it back, or is it stuck like that forever? Like the Mason's workbench seems to think I can. Yeah, it's literally the first one. Okay. Put it back in here. And yep. And let's think about swapping this out. Just move that over there. It's now upside down. That's hilarious. The top half of the chest is now at the bottom, vice versa. And let's think about putting a barrel with a stack upgrade in there, seeing as though we just did a bunch of that with our plants. Let's just do that here. So it's iron barrel, that sort of thing. Spruce iron barrel, jungle iron barrel, oak iron barrel. Doesn't really matter. Right, we've got the things we needed. Iron barrel. Perfect. Okay. And it was stack upgrade. So, because we're just putting 2 of these in every barrel, may as well. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. There we go. From one barrel to another. We've got our this barrel full of all of its flint, and we've now got this barrel, which all of this stuff can just go into. Put that there, and if I do that, I can do that. I can just send everything across and get these back. There we go. Take everything out. Who's cutting onions? Oh, I've pushed the shader button. Obtain crying obsidian. Ah. It's like the first time we've picked up crying obsidian. Sure. There we go. So we've stacked some books that are matching now. We've stacked all of those hog shoes on top of each other. Stacked some iron boots that are matching enchantments, which is nice. And just generally, everything else goes together into piles a bit better. So now we can effectively forget about that for a while. And since we're forgetting about it, let's give you another half stack of gold. There you go. Alright, time for that copy-paste gadget we've been chatting about, maybe. So, copy-paste gadget. That was easy. Charge it up. And we should do some reading about it. That'll be charged pretty quick. But how do I use this? So we've got our building gadget. We've figured that out last time, and if I can remember how it works, that would be great. Yeah, I can see I'm looking at placing a bunch of dirt down. Yeah, I'm filling in with dirt. So who can remember the hotkey? What could the hotkey have possibly been for a building gadgets menu? Because this is the trouble we had last time. Is it V? It's not V. Surely it's not B. That's backpack. Of course it's not B. Alright, let's just look it up. What am I doing down here? It's B for building gadget, isn't it? There. G. Settings menu is G. Anchor, range, undo. That's right. H for show HUD. Okay, that just puts that little HUD on the outside. Right. So G. Which also does jetpack. Of course it does. I remember this now. That's right. And so maybe we should have our jetpack off while we're just at home like this. Well, no, let's just literally take it off. We don't even need to be wearing armor. It's fine. So, yep, horizontal wall was the kind of building thing that we did. And you had range 5 and various things. Okay, yep. So that's fine. That's fine. We more or less figured out what that one's all about. But copy paste gadget on the other hand, which is chewed through a bunch of power there. What's its dealio? Copy paste gadget. The copy paste gadget makes replicating structures far easier to start. Ensure you're in copy mode in the settings menu. That's good. Right click one corner of a structure, then shift right click the opposite corner. Yep, that's a fairly standard thing. Green outline will surround the structure. Right, so yep. Copying a structure, exactly. Switch the gadget to paste mode. Oh, of course. There's a copy mode and a paste mode. You'll see the ghostly preview. The block you right clicked during copying is the starting point of the structure. Right, which means I probably want to do it from the ground. Like if I was doing this, I'd right click in the ground corner first and then up to there, so that when I paste it, I'm pasting it from the ground. Yeah. Place structure, simply right click. All the items for building will be removed from your inventory, and any blocks you don't have items for will be skipped. Yeah. To see a list of the items you need, open the settings menu and choose the materials list option. Right. It's a scrollable list showing what items you do or don't have, can be sorted in multiple ways. Try it out. Yep. It's possible to make fine-tune adjustments to the copy area by opening the adjustment placement window in the settings. Yeah, to kind of toggle things a little bit. You can adjust the position of the start, end, click the plus and the minus, see the green box change in real time. You can also swap to absolute coordinates and enter in-game world coordinates instead. Yeah, so from absolute and relative and stuff. Right. There's a similar option for pasting. Yep. In this UI, you'll be adjusting the location of the starting block. Click the coordinates and okay. That seems fair. And it's nighttime. Let's have a nap. And let's do a test copy paste of some things. So let me just grab, a stack of cobble, and I'm just going to place some cobble down, and we're going to do a test copy paste. That sort of thing. So we got this sort of a structure, and if I want to copy paste this. So with the copy paste gadget, if I push G, I get my menu. So I've got copy mode, I've got paste mode. Alright. Replace blocks, warning void drops. I don't know that I want that. Settings menu, okay. Undo, anchor, grow, sure, whatever. And we've got rotate. So what's this? Oh, that's turn that on. Okay, right, it's not turned on. So that's fine. Settings menu. Yep, let's just change those sorts of things. That's fine. and there's no materials list because I haven't copied anything yet. Alright, so let's copy this then. So if I right click there and then shift right click there, nothing happened. Go into copy mode. Right click there. Here we go. Shift right click there. There we go. Copied 16 blocks. Okay. So that whole section has been copied now. Alright. So this copy paste gadget knows that. So if I swap it into paste mode, right, wherever I'm looking, and because that's the corner I clicked on first out of this thing, that's the corner I'm looking at for where to place my thing at. Alright, so I can choose somewhere to put that down. Now, if I like it there, but I want to move it a bit or something, so we can go at our settings. There's our materials list. I need 7 cobble, which I've got, so that's good. The settings menu lets me, right, just kind of move it along a smidge in the XY. Oh, that's underground. So that way, it doesn't matter if I don't have it exactly where I want it. I can move it around like this, like there. Confirm. Except now that I've looked away, it moves anyway. So I've got to do it while I'm looking at that. And so we do that, and right click now to paste. That's it, and it just creates a duplicate for me, and it used up things there. What if they're in my backpack? Will it know that I've got those materials in my backpack? So if I wanted to copy here, it does. It knows. So paste. It does. It drew them out of my backpack. Perfect. Next question is, can I copy through another existing thing? What happens there? So is this going to use up another 7 blocks? What am I currently at? 43. If I try to paste here, it just pasted around it. Yep, they only used up the 5 blocks. Okay, so if there's existing blocks, it just won't go there. Right. That's fine. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Let me do one more paste in there while standing aside of it. Nice. And one more there, because now I can just vein mine all of this out. Perfect. Right. I think that's a good proof of concept. So, in theory, all that means is I just need a bunch of these materials, and I can start copy-pasting this whole thing into a couple of other orientations. Oh, we should have tried the rotate thing. So we've still got the paste memory. Rotate. Nice. Okay. So I can turn this around, which will be good for turning corners. Okay, excellent. I like it. And if I change this back to copy mode, there we go. It's still looking at the bit where I'm copying. If I just right click into the air, no. Can I just like clear? Is there a way to make it sort of forget this? Nope, that's 24 blocks. 84 blocks. Oh, I'm extending the copy range. 60 blocks. Oh, because I'm choosing the start. I'm still doing that same end. Yes, it's still ending in the same position. So I'm right-clicking is changing where it starts. Shift right-clicking is changing where it ends. Yeah. So start there, end there. So I've got 1 block copied. Start there, end there. Yeah, I don't know that I can clear what's in the copy-paste gadget. It's just always going to have stuff copied. There you go, I got a block of grass copied. That's fine. It just If it always has a memory, it always has a memory. Okay. So we should load ourselves up with a bunch of these materials. We should maybe take a moment to think about the telegraph pole arrangement, because if we're copying it, that might get copied with it anyway, and we should plan ahead for that. And then we'll be good to start copying. So this is gravel and this is gutter. Question is, does the telegraph pole come out of the gutter or does it come out of the footpath here? Like, would it be intrusive to have, we talked about having 2 lanes of walking on the sides here. Not that anyone's actually walking this ever. I'm just going to run down the road if ever I'm wanting to go somewhere. But does this inside track have the telegraph poles coming out of it maybe? Or do we make it come out of these slab bits? Let's have a think about what materials this would even look like. I'm thinking it's got to be like a wooden kind of thing. It probably should be a dark sort of wood, given what we're doing here. Scaring me there. Like, we've got a lot of dark logs and various things like that, but typing in pole's not going to give me anything. Well, piston extender pole. Striped candy cane pole, that is especially not what I want. We're not making candy cane poles. But like a vertical bit of wood. Like, if I go to this dark oak log, for example. Yeah, in the carpenter's workbench. So obviously we can do all this sort of stuff. But sawing, like, oh, that just makes it stripped. What's that? Arboreal extractor. It's probably not logs that I want. It's probably planks, isn't it? Really? The planks. What can the planks become? Yeah, put them in the thing. Oh no, it's just more different patterns of them. Warping. Oh wow. Toss into a portal that leads to the nether. And it gets warped. That's such a weird mechanic. Soaring, yeah, so this is where we chop them into different things. Oh wow, constructing. We can poke it with a finger. Oh, of course. Yeah, so making slabs and stairs and doors and buttons and things. I thought there was like more configurations of stuff for this. Maybe I'm just hallucinating this. Like, it's not just wooden bits of wall and stuff. I thought they were like, oh, it's fences is what I'm thinking of. It's just a fence post. That looks interesting though. Fine wood. Yeah, I'm just thinking of a single solo fence post. I'm losing it. And sort of extrapolating from there. We've got some nice sort of dark color. Wow. Ancient plating fence. Oh wow. Oh, it's a metallic one. Oh, of course. Not wooden at all. Of course, I could just do copycat ones. But I didn't even think of that. Like an actual sort of metallic-y one. Yeah, that's the copycat one I'm looking at again. Nether brick. Nah, it's too dark. So what were these? So thornwood, twisted, ancient plating. So nether brass nugget. That sounds scary. Oh, this needs netherite. Well, we're never doing that. Nether brass ingots, nether brass nuggets. Nether brass ingots. Nether brass blend. Soul sand with copper. Well, that's not too bad. Like, we can make that sort of stuff. We can make this nether brassy stuff, but a single netherite scrap and you can get a stack of plating. That ain't happening. Okay, as good as that looked. Maybe we just do a copycat fence pole that we're gonna put something on. So yep, stone cutting a zinc ingot. So maybe that's the play here. So nighttime as always. It's always nighttime and it's always raining. So copycat fence. Yeah. Or copycat beam, actually. Like, you know, now that we're talking copycat blocks, copycat shaft, yeah, like, there are other options. Vertical step, no. Vertical slice, not at all. Beam might be interesting. I don't know what that is. So, let me just sort of see how that sits within a block. No, I want upright. I want up the other way. Yeah, like that. You know? And if I give it some sort of texture, the question is it a connected texture? I mean, I'm just going to give it cobble for now. Yeah, it is. As connected as it can be. So, I think that's appropriate. I can colour this whatever I want, with whatever block palette I want. And we go from there. So maybe I make a bunch of these. Let me have a little bit of a think about what we could colour these as. So, are there other useful bits in here since we're plugging these together? Do we have, like, what's this? Stacked half layer. These look complicated. You've obviously got slabs and things. Wooden buttons. Step. I guess I'm wondering what... Let me just build briefly with these beams and just have a toy around with this. So if I put some like that, can I put a beam coming out? It doesn't connect though. Yeah, so they're not a connected thing. Because this doesn't occupy a full block. That makes sense. So regardless of what we texture things as, they're never going to connect because that's not a full block. So whatever we did at the top, we'd have to do something that's a full block, or at least goes up to half size there. Could we do like a little stair, like a step sort of thing? I mean, we could do just like a half slab, because this sits where this sits within the center of a block that way as well. So a half slab would go like halfway up to it, which would look weird, but that would be fine. And then maybe that's what these top things are. So like, yeah, the slab. Just wondering, is there a way to make a stairs kind of thing with this? Not sure that there is. I mean, you can do angly bits with slopes and stuff. Sideways stairs and things. I'm not sure that it's particularly helpful. Let's just get a couple of the slabby bits. Think about this. So, of course, I can just replace this with a slab in here. And that slab is immediately upright for some reason. I want the flat variety of slab, the one like that. You know? Which is weird, but not insane. I mean, it's got to be taller. Like, weird sort of like notching up and stuff. Into like these little thin bits here. I wonder if this was like a stair, a step instead of a slab. That might look nicer. So what if I swapped this out for a bit of stairs? Coming out the side here now. And stairs are notoriously impossible to place at the best of times. Like that's already the wrong way. That's even wronger. Oh. Still not right. Okay, what if we try a different tact here? Closer. I don't like what I'm doing here. This is silly, but there we go. But I want to do that down here. Not like that though. Up the other way. Up the other way, please. We'll figure this out. Hi, Emily Rogers in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. We are currently fiddling with copycat blocks, which are currently the bane of my existence. I'll do that there. Let me reach over this way. No. Reach over this way a bit more. Sorry, botanist workbench. I'm just going all over you just so I can climb around at the moment. Stream is going well, thanks. Thank you for tuning in. We're adds actual dirt, that one. We're trying to have a bit of a creative streak at the moment, with a bit of design elements. Let's see. So if I do this here, is it? Please be flat. Don't be vertical. It's vertical because why would it be flat? I need another beam. I need to stand up a little bit higher so I can look down from above. Place the slab on there. That's better. Okay. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Right, so I'll just use the cobble for now for the sake of this. So don't worry about the color textures or anything like that at all. But something like this, this gets us our, you know, as much as you can see with all this other stuff in the way, this gets us our pole shape going up. This gets us a little bit of a kind of a split through here. I wonder if maybe, well, I can't do any more pole because that is a slab. So the other half of that block is void there. There's nothing that can go in that. I think. Played for 8 hours straight last night. Oof. I don't think I could. I don't think I could last that long. I struggle after 3 or so hours. And we've only been going what? We've just pushed 1 hour so far. So that sort of thing would allow us to run cabling sort of along here and along here. I mean, it just sort of hovers on top of like this flat bit. But would that look any good? Let me just get like some cablings and stuff out here. So what are these called? Basic universal cable, and this other stuff is, well, that'll just be like ME cabling. Yeah, just cable, basic universal cable. Yeah. So if I just imagine sort of, you know, something like that. Something like that. This kind of thing. Something like that. I realize it's floaty, because again, these are things that occupy the centers of their blocks. Does that make sense? It's on the wrong side, isn't it? This should be like underneath, not on top of. Do I have any streaming schedule? Yeah, I tend to do Monday nights. I'm in Australia, obviously, if you can't tell by the voice. So it's currently Monday night here at the moment for me. So I tend to go weekly of a Monday night, a couple of hours. And let's see. Yeah, I wonder if would this look better as an underhang. How would I do that though? Because if these are like going up like that, I'm now struggling to think of what real power poles actually look like. Do I need to have these facing the other direction? Do I need to have a slab up above, steps to come down, and have these run underneath? I think I do, maybe. I think I do. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if I've got this whole thing up the wrong way. Thanks. I try to be engaging and positive, all those good things where possible. Let's chop some of this out. Let's try and invert this whole pattern up a bit higher. So another one there, another one there, and I'd have to do another one now. No. Yes, no. Yeah. No, that's the one that's got to become the slab now. So if I do a slab, then I'm going to have to stack myself up. I'll just nerd pole a bit. Alright. Slab. Oh, why must you always go the wrong way, slabs? Alright. Like that. Flat. Okay. Now we can do the steps off the side, which I'm going to have to salvage these side ones to do that. Alrighty. Let's... Oh, there's a bit floating up there. Come on, grab it. Whoop. Didn't get it. There we go. That's one way to get it. Alright. So if we make all these just that for now, and then we have the stairs coming down the other way. So if we do that... Thanks for the follow, Emily. Glad to have you on board. If I... Wait a minute. That was cobble, not the stairs. Alright. If I put it this way, and yes, it actually goes the way I want it for the first time in forever. Perfect. Right. So, and again, just color these like that for now, and let's just chop down this giant pillar we've made here, just so we can look a little bit at what's being formed here. Stick that extra bit of cabling back on the end there. So aside from like the color scheme and everything, something like this maybe. Oddly, the copycat blocks look more like power lines before they copy anything. That is an interesting observation, Katooth, actually. Just the transparency of the copycat template blocks. Let's see. And there's no way I'm ever going to be able to like make any artificial appearance of these being attached. They're always just going to float underneath, which I think we just deal with. But something like that, I think, seems to work fine. Stair, slab, stair, and then these beams up the middle here. It'd be amazing if we found a nice bit of metal that we could do this with without even needing to make copycat blocks, and just make this out of like fence posts and slabs and things. If I type in slab, and we just look for like a stone or a metal, you know, like iron plating or something, making it out of copper is going to be way too bold. Surely. You know, nice, bright, shiny copper. Let's see. Oh, mercury stone. Well, we're definitely not. We're definitely not doing that yet. Frosted gingerbread. Maybe we need to go to Christmas Town or something if there's all this candy cane and gingerbread stuff. Oh, Gabby. Welcome back, Gabby. Flint block. The good old flint block. Probably yes. Seeing as though, again, we're drowning in flint. It's that fun looking thing. I'm not even going to try and say that. Oh, here we go. Yes. Oh, that's that ancient stuff again. Let's ignore that. Oh, you could do hazard stuff, except that would really sort of bread. What's that? That's like pitch black. So many different colored textures and things. Nice looking things here. There's deep slates, tough, all sorts of stuff. There's that copycat block there. There's all of our nice concrete slabs. Yep. Oh, was that grey rebar concrete? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, well, we're not doing sea lanterns. That'd be weird. Yeah, the nice polished tough. What's that? Oh, that's the checkerboard. That's why it looks so weird. And then all our nice coloured shingles and things. So, what was it? Flint slab. Oh, flint tile. Nah, yeah, just copycat the flint block, as we had before. The flint block. What about catwalk? That's interesting, actually. Yeah, like the catwalk grating. Ooh, or railing. Would that do the pole in the center? Maybe we should make some railing and see what this looks like. Copycat catwalk. Because we definitely got just loads of all this sort of stuff. Like, we can definitely do the industrial iron. We could do copper if we want that kind of like brown aesthetic to things, that orangey brown. But we've got a bunch of, well, do we have industrial iron bars? Let's go and have a quick look. So we've got a heap just sitting around. Yeah, there we go, industrial iron bars. In fact, there's some right there, industrial iron catwalk. Just literally right there. Because that's what we've been making this floor out of, right? That's this. So what would that look like as... I mean, you couldn't use it as the block, it's too thin, but as the copycat material. Would that look weird? Now I've got to try and get back up there again. Now I'm going to have to get up above it because... Oh yeah, if only I had a jetpack! Good call, Katooth. What are we even doing? I took the jetpack off for the copy-paste gadget, and we've just never put it back on. Ah, dear. Don't you go spitting. Glad I've got chat here to remind me what I'm actually doing. No, it won't take that. Because it did that. So I can't use that. So obviously it's like a full block you've got to use, not just like a catwalk texture. Am I from the States too? No, I'm from good old land down under. I am Australian, east coast of Australia. I'm streaming from at the moment. Florida. That's the one with the gators and things, isn't it? So I should have brought other blocks with me when I came up here. What have I got in my backpack? I've got flint blocks with me. Let's put a flint block in here. And what would these look like as flint blocks? Is there a way? I don't think there is. There's not a way to swap out the copycat like type of block without breaking it again? Oh, that's it. Can I wrench a copycat block to remove it? That's literally exactly what I'm trying to think of. Yeah. I'm gonna need to go and grab a wrench to try that out because yeah, I don't want to have to keep breaking and replacing these things. Have a nap. Originally from the UK, moved to Florida to complete your studies. What are you studying? Does a create wrench work? What sort of wrench would I want for copycat blocks? What mod even is it? Create plus copycats. So this is a create thing? Yeah. So it will be a create wrench. Okay. Pursuing arts degree. Also working in IT companies, a 3D animator. Nice. So, oh, it does. Look at that. Perfect. Don't break anything. We can just wrench the stuff off. Alright, so if I change this to that, they sort of, obviously the textures don't connect because they're separate blocks and things. There we go. And I mean, yeah, like doing that, it's gonna, yeah, that's not a real nice connected texture like that. I don't know that I'd want to do that. That'll blend in too much with everything else. Let's take some of these back off. I wonder what copper would look like. Let me grab some copper. Just because I want to see like that. That kind of orangey sort of texture. Oh. Of course, I need way more than one. And I can already tell it's not going to look good. Because I can see that that's got an edge to it. These blocks are they're also obviously not connected. Yeah, it's gonna do that, but maybe that's not terrible. I mean, this huge big copper looking telegraph pole should be strip log like a real power pole. Yeah, that's getting back closer to our original design, isn't it? Yeah, originally I was trying to think of some sort of wooden thing for this. So maybe we should go purer. Have like wood and, well, and maybe something else at the top. Or just wood all the way through. But yeah, let's do a type of thing. Why haven't I added a cool profile picture and banner yet? I've got like my effective banner in the top left corner. That's the Overthunk by Sharky logo, cogging away there in the corner. So, do we just do boring oak? What would be a spruce dark oak? Let me strip some of these and see what they look like. So, if I just do them as is. Oh, that's not the right direction at all. Because of course they're beams. I'll strip them and see if that changes anything. But oh, there's a lot going on in the chat there. There's also a spammer trying to do a spam thing through there. Let me just delete that spam that you guys probably can't see. Going on in the chat there. Recently made a logo and banner of your friend. Of course, yeah, because you're doing animation and stuff like that. So you've got a bit of graphic design in you. There's your Discord. No worries. Thank you for that. Great. Gabby reckons planks on top. Yeah, okay. Okay, I want to quickly peek to see if maybe the copycat beams, like is there a sideways copycat vertical step? Should that have been what this is? Maybe. Because I mean, obviously, you can do the beams horizontally. Like, does the texture rotate with them? Like, if I just do a beam along the... Oh, there you go. The one time I want it to go flat and it doesn't. And if I just texture that, which way does the texture go? Yeah, it rotates with it. So, that's just the way the texture is made for things. So, obviously, the plank's no good, but if we strip it, what's it look like when it's stripped? No worries, Emily. Thanks for jumping in. Happy for the lurk. All good. Loving all the emojis there. Very good. Alright, so yeah, that's still gonna show through, isn't it? So if I use the stripped log, because it's gonna be sideways, we're gonna get that sort of effect. Like, it makes a weird sideways directional thing. Like, I could almost live with it, except it's gonna make the poles have, you know, degree 2 symmetry, not degree 4. I mean, the top's already degree 2 symmetry, but you know, I don't know about that. So yeah, what if we just go full plank then? That's a bit more acceptable. I mean, if I'm looking at it, it's just like a fatter version of a fence post. Honestly. Does it still do that if you copy from above? Oh, I got no idea. Now you're asking all the real questions, Katooth. Let me put my beam down here. No, here. No, come on. No, flat, please. Along the ground, not upright. There. All right. So let me put a texture on it from standing in front. Let me put a texture on it from standing above. So that's the same. Can you rotate by clicking the copycat block with the same block twice? Oh, I can! Oh, wow. Well, that's easy. That changes everything. That changes everything. Okay. Let me try this again. So, if I make these logs like that, I can rotate through X, Y, and Z. Right. So we now get that. So that's it not stripped. Let me get some stripped ones back. Put some of these on there. I've been trying some of the demos of games Next Fest. Often seems like there is no way to do something. Learning the controls of a new game. Often forget to try things like just click. I know there's so many unexpected ways to do things sometimes. Like just click again, or like hold click, or click from a different angle, or shift click, or shift right click, or so rotate it that way. So that's a softer version of it. That's the darker version. So we've got like a stripped one. We've got a barked one. And let's think about the top now, because of course we could rotate textures here in a bunch of different ways. So that works, because it's sideways and it goes into the... I don't know that I'd want that. I'd want that. And then, what would these do? That's maybe acceptable, actually. Alternatively, you've got that, which does also work. Really? That does actually work, yes. Or the other option is up that way, which especially does not work because of the grains going the wrong way. But that would be fine, because it also blends with the middle. Oh, excuse you, sir. Something like that. There we go. And then it's now just a question of, do we do it with the wood, or with the log, or with the stripped log? Yes, it's actually starting to look very telegraph polished. We're getting closer to the intended design now, which is good. It's only taken us, what, an hour to do this? Let's have a quick nap. I'm also going to do something I don't normally do, and I'm going to try and sneak a little bit of food on stream here. Skeevers came home from tennis, however long ago that was. Excuse me, now I'm bumping the mic and everything. And it seems like she's done a sneaky fast food run on the way home from tennis, because when she came in, she waved at me and sat a couple of chips down. And if I leave them much longer, they're just going to get even colder. So I'm going to awkwardly try and eat these while talking, and while grabbing a mouse with one hand and a keyboard with the other, if I can do all three. If that's getting a bit too ASMR, I might as well just mute myself while I'm chewing. And go from there. What are people saying? In practice, usually only the pole is wood and the webbing at the top is metal. True. You can craft a log block with bark on all four sides. You are right. Yes, I do actually remember that. I can put 4 of these together and just get a completely barked thing. So that would work for like these end bits. If I wanted bark all the way around. Honestly, I kind of like the little bit of exposed bit at the end. I don't think that's the worst. As a bit of a weird cross section for sort of the way the wood's been cut or something. But yep, we could certainly do that to seal all the edges. Can I do it with a stripped one as well? Does that work? Top bit looks weird though. Yeah, so you reckon metal up the top there. So well, we've got our flint block, we've got our copper. Let's try that and try a few others. So our copper looked like that. So of course we're always going to have potentially the issue that unlike the wood, these things, whoops, oh, and clicking again didn't rotate the texture because this texture can't rotate. Yeah, these ones are always going to look sort of separately disconnected. Like it's not terrible. Like that's probably fine. And the orange of things does probably tend to go with whatever wood we're going to use for this. How are people feeling? Like a darker wood, a lighter wood? Maybe wood in the middle, you reckon, Katooth? So if we go back to putting that spruce log back up there, you know, and we had some copper bits where the things dangled from, that kind of thing. What else have we got in that sort of, you know, that kind of style? Like all the other copper things are just different shades of orange to green. Because we can literally use any texture for any color for this. Like this industrial iron and stuff. Like what's that coming from? That's just creates deco. Maybe like the stripped spruce. Yeah, as what? As like the whole beam kind of thing. Let me make a bit more stripped spruce, because again we could be stripping all sorts of logs. Like I've grabbed spruce, but we've also got dark oak. Whatever all these other things look like when they're stripped. Like we've got a lot of different color options here. So, was it? This was spruce. So, stripped spruce. So there's our stripped spruce. That one there, for color reference. You know, stripped dark oak is slightly darker. Obviously, you've got stripped acacia for a bit more of an orange feel. Stripped jungle, stripped oak for a lighter kind of palette. Yep, so Gabby liked the stripped spruce for the pole, yep. Katooth, can fences be placed sideways? Not conventionally in Minecraft. And by sideways I'm assuming you mean rotated along, rotated through the x-axis, perhaps? That kind of sideways. Fence. Like literally the only thing you can do with fence in Minecraft is that. You can't rotate that. I don't think I can even use that as a copycat thing. I mean, I'm about to be proven wrong. Nope, I can't, because it's not an actual block. It's like, it's its own thing. So I can't apply it as a texture because it's not a block. Yep. Yeah, that's one of the banes of Minecraft. Just normally things don't get rotated. Fences go upright, slabs go horizontal, steps go vertical. It's sort of one of the iron fences look like it might work. Yeah, yeah. So let me get. So it was spruce log that we were doing. Stripped spruce log. I could do that in a carpenter's workbench. It's fine, I can just strip it by hand. So if I get a bunch of this, let's just strip a heap of this. So like that. So that's our main kind of thrust of the pole and the bit at the top. It's then about what we do for these, whether we vary away from copper blocks to something else, you know, sort of metallic-y because you're running cables, and yet sort of woody. I'm just going to go and close that door behind me. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. There's a bit of kerfuffle going on outside, so I'm just going to shut the back door briefly. Or actually, tell you what, I can do that.
Narrator narrates all.
Oh no!
Narrator.
I've done a skeevers.
Off.
Okay, let's do this the old-fashioned way, and I will be right back while I go shut that back door. Alright, there we go. Should be all good now. I've got that back door sorted. All that noisy noise can stay outside. I've taken the banner back off. I even managed to quickly shove down those last couple of chips, so I'm not trying to do 10 things at once. Very thirsty now though, that's the price I'm paying. How was my day? My day was well, thank you for asking. Had a reasonably successful day at work, and now, you know, had dinner, kids are in bed, and enjoying a bit of Minecraft. Blue-green netherwood. I think I know what you mean. Yes, What is that blue-green netherwood? Literally this one, the warped stem. As in, what? As in having that as these bits up here. Ah, your work there was somewhat unsuccessful, Katooth. That's not so good to hear. But that's okay. Yes, there is tomorrow. That is true. There is tomorrow. What are we thinking? Blue-green netherwood as what instead of these copper blocks on the side here, like have one of these. I mean, that does also necessitate a trip to the nether, mind you. Oh, actually, it does not. It does not. A botany pot? Oh, absolutely. If I can get a warped fungus, I'm definitely doing that. Just sneak in a cheeky little drink there after all that. For all those salty chips. Thank you, Skeevers, for that. Very thoughtful. Oh, I don't even need to go to the nether. Oh, look at this. I can haunt brown mushrooms to get warped fungus, and I can plant warped fungus on warped nylium. That'll be a challenge. And I can make all this. I mean, if I wanted to make it. Okay, so with netherrack, I can infuse it with one of these Botania things to make that, then infuse it again to make that. Okay, I can do that because I've got netherrack. So I can actually do all this without visiting the nether. That's incredible. Yes, I assume that was in relation to the question I asked about replacing the sides. Okay, let me go on a weird tangent here, because I would love to not go to the nether. What could we get rid of and replace it with this other stuff? Probably this kelp, honestly. We don't need anywhere near this much kelp. So I'm gonna take this guy out. Whatever that was saying. Yep, place the seeds start growing. And let's just we don't have the backpack room for this. We'll sort that out in a sec. Have a sleep. Let's start preparing to grow that weird nether tree in that spot there. I also recognise it's in the wrong spot because, of course... Oh, actually, it's sort of not. Because all the trees are over here. That does kind of hook onto the end of the trees there. So, let me think this through. What do we need? So, for the dirt... Okay, I need netherrack and I need any 2 shimmering mushrooms. Now, I don't know that I have them, but I'm sure I've seen them around the world. So, a bit of netherrack. Let's just throw that water bucket in the computer. And... oh, of course! Shimmering mushrooms is how we're getting our dye. Well then. That's easily done. Metallurgic infuser. That. And let's infuse that. And I'll just put that one bit of kelp that I've got into this other chest for safekeeping. There you go, the crimson one. And now we turn it into the other one. The tangents are what I'm here for. You've come to the right place then. There's our warped nylium. In it goes. And so now we just need a warped fungus, which is haunting a brown mushroom. And again, maybe we've got one of those. We've got 3. That is enough. Alright. Let's go haunt ourselves a mushroom. Have you... Sir? These are my moo blooms. Columbus, you're actually another dude. Yeah, you're selling buckets of blobfish and gunpowder. And you've also got your llamas caught in the cow pen. Like, you've really done a number on yourself. Not my problem. Alright. Into the haunter. Don't haunt yourself. Oh, there it is. That was quick. Alright. Stick that in there. And however long that took, 1 minute. So we're going to get, 100%, 25 and 5. Sure, but we get shroom lights out of this too. So we're definitely going to get at least one of them coming out to go into there. We can fix up that barrel in a bit. And use that to test out these end bits up here. So they can also be stripped as well. So we can do a normal one, or we can do a stripped one. That's a lot of W's we're pressing. What are the W's for? Yeah, we can make like all fancy sort of. Wow. Yeah, like center cut ones and firewood wrapped things and smooth things. I guess we could have done that with like this stripped stuff as well too, maybe. Well, yeah, we did. We looked at that. It's sort of got all this, so we could do things like that, where we're giving it a bit of texture. We don't actually have the carpenter's one, do we? We've got the botanist's one. We've got the mason's one. We don't have the woodworking one. Ah, W for win. I see what you're saying. That's why you were hitting W before. That was completely lost on me. Sorry for that. I'm so used to an F in the chat kind of arrangement that I don't notice the wins when they happen. So let me swap one of these out. So we've got. Oh, I need a second one to click on it again to rotate it. Like obviously the sides of the warp stem have all that nice warping effect on them. Oh, we've got another one already. Wow, we wasted enough time. You can see the electricity. I know it's got that sort of a feel to it. Rotate it that way. Rotate it again that way. The gradient sort of on that does fit into the middle a bit better. So if we were having the outside still exposed, that would make sense. That's how that would look. Other options, again, so if we do a stripped one, let me strip one. See what the stripped one looks like on this side. Okay, now here's a question. Here's a real question. I was about to get another one to rotate this, to spin this around, but given the weird sort of green palette of this, does the actual cross-section underneath look good now on this? Does that look like some weird sci-fi sort of, I'm now beaming the power into this cable or something? I don't know. Like, just because it doesn't look so naturally like wood, it looks a little bit, sort of on a different side of the spectrum there. And I'm going to get rid of that chat spammer as well that's getting in the way of things. Can't see what you guys are saying because someone's spamming the chat with spam messages. Banned, but it hasn't deleted all the others. Never mind. Yes, that's the hover circuit that's keeping the cable in place. Yeah, no, exactly. That's sort of what I was thinking. Like, it's a weird, like, inductance coil or something that you can see through there. Like, I kind of like that. If I... Oops, not that. From there. If I take some more of these out of here, and I just rotate this one again. Right, so there's our two options. Either with bark or without bark. So we've got our sort of inductance coil bit on the underneath side here. Do we like it without the bark, so it's all just this same kind of teal sort of palette, or do we like it with the bark so that it looks sort of like a weird electricity flow. And then, in addition to those two questions, do we need the middle slab to be of this same warped stem arrangement, just to connect the two together? Or does it need to be spruce so that the pole kind of connects into them? Yes. Purple, blue, purple. Oh, I see. So what, have the purple ones there and have the blue stripped one connected. Gabby's got a vote for stripped in there. Yeah, well, I mean, experiment's obviously the way to do this. So let me strip 2 of these so that we can, and if there's any more, I'll get them too. Oh, we've got a wart block. Nice. So that we can start to experiment here. So if we take this one out and put the stripped in the middle here, I don't think I want to have an inductance thing in the center, so I want to rotate this like that. Although, if you look really closely, the textures don't match because they're sideways, but we'll see. And then, same for this one. Like that. So there's option 1. Alright, so we've got just straight up stripped everywhere, all along the top there. So we've got our wooden pole going up into the stripped one. And then this kind of arrangement. I guess 4th option, since we're floating multiple options out here, do we actually do away with the spruce pole and make the whole pole the stripped wood as well, running all the way up, and the whole thing's just green? But that's another thing to consider. So we've got this one here. Katutha is thinking of purple, blue, purple. So that would be do that and that. All right. So a purple, blue, purple kind of. What am I standing on? Oh. How did I do that? Like that. Wow, okay. Didn't even notice I was doing that. This sort of an affair. I've just looked over at the chat and I see that Gabby says, I like that one, but I have no idea which one we were talking about when you said that. As in, you like this second one I've just tried now with the purple, blue, purple, or you liked the one I originally had where everything was stripped. I'm going to have a nap. Give us time to think. And I don't need all this cobble at the back. I don't know why that's still been there. Back from the days when I was nerd poling my way up there. How much more have we got in our chest? 3 more. Okay. Getting there. All stripped. Gabby's got to vote for all stripped, right? And when we say all stripped, so let me strip these 3 then, because we're gonna need a lot of things stripped in the long run. So let's take these off. Let's do that. So then it's a case of, do we reckon we just have the top bit with the stripped stuff, with the stripped warped stem, with the spruce pole, or do we go all the way down? Whoops. And have the whole thing. We could have like a sleeve at the bottom, maybe, like. Because of course this also, oh, what have I done? I didn't strip it. Because this does also have to marry into the ground. So we might need a kind of, oh, what have I done? we might need a kind of sleeve at the very bottom of something to transition to the ground. Katu thinks that works. Right. So bearing in mind, as I say, we've got to connect this into, well, effectively into this. So some sort of a darker, maybe even semi-metallic looking industrial sort of like sleeve around the bottom. Is it as simple as we just put a full block at the bottom, like, you know, a flint block? What would that look like? You know, like that. Something like that, but not necessarily that. To just kind of transition us into the ground, maybe. My instincts from work are telling me the bottom of the pole should be a clear cylinder of plastic. Yes, there's possum guards and things. That's a fun point, actually. Bottom could be a block of stone brick. It could, yes. What did we have here? This was this black stone in the end? No, it wasn't black stone. It was deep slate. Yes, this is like pillared deep slate bricks, and then that's copycat slab with these flint blocks on it. But yeah, we could have. We need something sort of smooth to transition down into. I think that's too dark. The solid stone you have there works. The bottom could be a block of stone brick. Yeah, maybe slightly light. Yes, I want something slightly lighter than this. Like almost, as I ran past it, almost this. The iron plate slab. What we got? Yeah, iron plate slabs. What's that look like as an alternative bottom block? Like that. So it's a bit riveted. It's got a little bit of sort of diagonal gradient to it. It's slightly lighter in the transition into the copycat beams. Question is, does that marry into the floor? So this is the part where we need to be doing this over here. To sort of see how this would start to marry into this. Like we just had one of these there. And we had our pole coming out of that. Why is it always the wrong way? Like that. And we put... Oh, I don't have any more. Put something like that here. Like that. So, you know, just as an iron plate block into this sort of stuff. Gary reckons, what about smooth stone? As in just regular stone, or like... Oh no, it's like smooth stone, the actual smooth stone block. Which is just double cooked stone. Which, again, we can put all this into a mason thing. So again, yeah, we can put like half of these things into a mason thing to get other patterns. I might even have smooth stone in the computer. I don't remember. I don't. But I do have a couple of other interesting stones. Like I've got this thick inlaid stone. I got regular stone. Let's try a regular stone. Let's try one of these weird thick inlaid stones. can cook up a smooth stone in a sec. And we'll do it over here because this is where it matters now. So, a regular old smooth stone. Just, you know, straight up smooth stone. And I keep saying smooth stone, but it's stone. So it looks like it looks like Minecraft, right? But it is a nice kind of transition block there. What if we tried the inlaid one? So it's just a bit of trim around it, like that. You're right, actually. And so that's another question. Yeah. Should it be on the path, or should it be in place of one of these? Because it can't be on top of this, because of course this is a half block. So that's the next thing as well. I don't mind that, the weird sort of square inlaid stone thing, because it nicely sort of squares around that in a weird kind of way. Let me embed it in here, and let's just see how this looks if I move the whole thing across one. So let me put it in there, and if I stand partially in it, there we go. So like that, Katooth, what do you think? If that's like in part of the guttering now, does it now need to actually be a gutter block? Like, does that now need to be a full-sized flint block? Rather than playing around with other sorts of stone textures then? Do we just make it a full-sized flint block? So it just blends in most naturally to the gutter system. Maybe that's the simple solution here. So it's just a plain old sort of gutter slabs, and then it just steps up briefly. How often will I have them? That's a good question. Honestly, don't know. Maybe one per chunk, like somewhere near the center of a chunk. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't really sort of mapped out how frequent they would be. You know, if there's one there and there's another one over here, and then things sort of run from there to there. Like, I mean, nothing's going to droop. Like, there's no physics here. Everything's just going to be horizontal. So it's going to look like it's all completely taut. Yes, the good old flint block. There it is. I think Gabby's on board with that one, because if we embed it into the kind of gutter block like that, the flint block is just the natural choice, because it just matches what we're already doing. And what this is like, well, it's a chunk, so this is 16 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've just happened to have done this at 8, and of course there's another 8 there. So it's the middle would be here, right? It's not perfect. But it's close to the middle of a chunk. So I did the same sort of thing, had another one 16 blocks away, that kind of thing. Does look nice. I'm actually thinking having one sticking up like that every 4 8 could be interesting too, just as a way to break this up without poles and everyone. Okay, so you know, so 1, 2, 3. So like. So we're having a bit of a full experiment now. Something like that. So that's every 4. Something like that. Having like a little notchy thing there. I'm gonna have to sleep, it's getting too dark to see anything. Having like sort of a more notched sort of pattern along there, and then like have a pole come out of like, yeah, every fourth one, so one a chunk kind of thing. So that next one would come out of the next corresponding one over there. That sort of thing. You know, that might make sense, I reckon. Yeah. It almost feels like it needs like a little bit of like fence here now or something. Like I could almost put a little guardrail here. Like, do I have... I don't think I do. But check the create chest, just in case. Wait, we got like the industrial iron bars, but I thought there was like... Oops, that's not how you spell fence. Yeah, like this sort of stuff, like mesh fence. Like industrial iron mesh fence. Oh, string. Well, we've got the 4 industrial iron sheets right there. Let me just make a tiny bit of this. I'm probably not going to put it in there, but I just want to see what this looks like in the world. We had a load of string in here, didn't we? That's not right. Oh, they're ingots. Sheet. Oh. Okay. Apparently these need to get squashed first. Into the squasher with you. It might be better to be on the end of the chunk to make corners look good. As in the telegraph pole on the end of the chunk? That's true, actually. Yes, when we come up here and we turn a corner, yeah, if they're in the middle of the chunk, this would have to come through here. And you're right, we would have to do a weird corner thing. So, like this one comes across here, but then this chunk here is turning a corner. So, it'd come across and it would turn for no particular reason. Maybe we have to do a special arrangement for corners anyway. Maybe we have to do something special with corners, just full stop. That's a good question. Yeah. Maybe with it like there, we can have a bonus pole at the corner. So it's like one in the middle of every chunk normally. But then there's like a bonus pole, like half a chunk along, that kind of fixes it. Exactly. So yes, this becomes an alternate pole location here now. So yeah, we've got one here normally in the chunk, but then this could be like a bonus corner pole or something we do. Yeah, we might not actually know until we start copy pasting. We might have to sort of commit and copy paste a couple, and then sort of see how this is going to start to look. So I'm just trying to visualize what this would even look like to turn a corner. Because yeah, now that you've said that, you're absolutely right. Having one of these poles here, it's already going to have to do some sort of funny corner turn. So that's going to be the job of, well, that's going to be the job of a corner tile, because we're already going to have a different tile for corners. So it might actually be fine where it is. Yeah, because then the corner tile will have a bonus. Yeah. I think it'll be fine. We're just going to need a different one for... yeah, the bonus ones will look real close if we do 2 of them. Absolutely. So, yes, I recognize what you said there. And I think if we do this right, it might be okay. Because I'm going to have to think up something special anyway. Right, look at that. Okay. And so you get a nice actual pole bit at the corner, and it's just actual fence, and you can't jump over it, so it acts like real fence. Is there any fun way that can work into this? I don't know that it can. Like, especially because these are bottom slabs, so there's no way to do this. But what if, and this is going to be bizarre, what if we actually fully did away with the gutter block, which I'm not prepared to admit to, and do that? Had fence there instead of a gutter block. It does mean you can't actually access the road. Yeah, that's bad for pedestrians. So, yeah, you can't get onto the road real easy. You have to, like, jump over one of these ones. So, maybe not. Maybe we find another way to use this industrial mesh as part of our factory buildings. But, yeah, I had in mind that was a type of thing that might have been... Oh, no. Rotate. Will you rotate with a wrench? No, I'm just gonna do that. Okay. That one, put them back. Okay. Right. But with stairs on all sides of the slab. Yeah, exactly. Yep, we could do like a stair sort of step thing when we get to sort of the actual corner one. Yep, there'll have to be like a special, adjustment to this for the corner slab. So at the moment, all of this is just the rules for the straight slab. So let's recreate what we've done over here. I won't put the power cables under it, or will I? Maybe I will. Maybe I should, because it would be weird not to have them. So maybe even though they're not connected to anything, maybe we have to just make a heap of these and put them on. So we're gonna have a bunch of copycat beams, then a slab and a stairs. Time to remake some version of that over in the real thing. So I think we need to go one block higher. Ah, that's a good point, Gabby. We should have gadgeted it. Ah. Of course, I'm forgetting because I'm thinking more of that as copying this chunk, not literally, moving it. Yeah, you're right. Now I've got to live with the pain of rebuilding this. So it was a slab up the top there, and I'm going to need some building blocks again. No, jetpack. Let's try and do this with a jetpack. Okay, looking down, works perfectly first time. We were doing it that way. Now we can do the stairs on the side, like that and like that. Like that. Okay. So that's got that there. So question is that an appropriate height? Should it be higher? Certainly shouldn't be lower. Maybe put the cables underneath. And we'll sort of decide from there. Not that it matters, I don't think, which cable goes where. Maybe the power cable is on the road side, and the ME cable is out on the pedestrian side. So like thicker and thinner, that sort of thing. At least one high, maybe two. Sure, okay. I guess, yep, it's a little bit stubby. Yeah. We also got to be sort of conscious of, like, yeah, vehicles driving down here, maybe, and maybe clipping into this. So higher is probably better. Yeah. Okay. Let us sleep on the road when we get closer to our bed. Have a bit of a fly. See if we can't fix this up. So hover. Let's take this down. And this takes forever to mine while I'm flying, apparently. Would have been way quicker to mine from the ground. And in fact, it's dropped to the ground. So let's look, stand on top of that so that I'm not flying. Okay. So we're going to need one or two more of these at least. So there's the two. Now we do our slab on the top. ME cable on pedestrian side with a terminal on every second pole. I didn't even consider putting terminals up there, but that's actually an interesting idea. Because then I can just run around and access the computer from wherever I am. That's kind of fun. Okay. So now we'll go these on that side. And then these ones on this side. Okay. That's feeling more realistic. Like it's high enough that you just cannot jump to it. I mean, you can jump enough to sort of see the block. But that's a nice height, I think. Yeah. Next question, as I start to duplicate it on this side, because we're talking about running these poles down both sides, having a pole on each side, do we have them exactly opposite each other? Or do we have them offset by like one step of 4 from each other? So they kind of like zigzag a bit. Alternate every half block. Half or quarter, so 4 blocks across or 8 blocks across. Bearing in mind when we hit corners, weird things are going to happen. So if we go too close to the edge, things are going to start to look weird when we try and do the corners, depending upon which way corners turn. But let me at least swap out these ones here for now. Yeah, you're kind of not wrong, Tooth. There sort of is a sense in which this will be easiest if I do everything at once. if I actually have the whole road system set up first and then do this. I mean, oops, that's the wrong thing. In a loose sense in my mind, I have got it mapped out. Like, there's road there. Road is going to continue there, but turn a corner down here, and continue here, but turn a corner down here. But they may not be the only corners, right? So, like, this one here that's turning a corner down here could well be a T-junction, I'm thinking. Having a T-junction here that this is running into. This one here is probably just an internal corner, a set of 2 internal corners. Because these chunks here, I kind of thought maybe this is a bit of footprint of Jaffa factory. or something that's like kind of flattened out here. So I've got a little bit of a sense of where this road is going. Like that's just a ordinary corner. That's an ordinary corner. This is a T-junction sort of thing. It'd be easier to make it go straight to the T intersection. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of fiddle whatever we do with this. Anything we come up with is always going to be a bit particular. Let's attempt to copy paste this. Ignoring poles, corners, and Minecraft roads are weird. Yeah, exactly. It's already going to be weird with corners anyway. I'm gonna have to do something funny with corners just to have that resolve. That's going to be its own type of challenge. So, do I copy paste this? Put it over here. To do that, I'm going to need just a couple more of these cables and things. So maybe we go and make ourselves just a bunch more of these things so that we've got what we need to copy paste. And let's try copy pasting a pole. See how that looks. Get a bunch of them. Leave some in there. Strip several of them. We probably should invest in getting that thing that strips them for us. The carpenter's... Was it this? How do I make this? Yeah, the carpenter's... No. Oh, it's a create saw. Ah, of course it is. Okay, sure. Alright. Well, maybe we invest in that at some point, as we need a bunch more of them down the road. But anyway, for now, there's a bunch of them. We should throw that back in the... Actually, no, that'll go in the other thing. We should get a bunch more cables and a bunch more basic universal cable. And again, this is basic universal cable. I say again, but I don't think I've said this yet. But there is advanced and elite. I mean, advanced isn't so bad, it just needs an infused alloy, which we can do. Elite is bad because it requires reinforced alloy, which requires diamond stuff, which is not happening. So, I mean, currently it's just the basic green power cables going everywhere, but at some point we could upgrade them to the red ones. So that might mess with the color scheme as well, so we'll have to deal with that down the road. But anyway, so making more of them. Steel ingots, redstone dust, that should be easy. There we go, there's 16 more of them. And this stuff, these cables, that's just glass, quartz enriched iron. There we go. Yeah, just enough. Oh, quartz enriched iron's easy to make. Okay. Right. You can upgrade it without breaking it in the future. Yes! Yes, good call. I'm pretty sure I knew that. Pretty sure, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if I knew that. Have a quick sip of the drink again. There we go. That should be that for now. Copy paste gadget. So we're gonna need some more things like slabs and stuff, but let's do the copy. Oh dear, let's do the copy and then we'll see what it says we need. So copy paste gadget. So we're in copy mode. So so copy from there down to and of course I'm gonna need to do that, so I can do that, break that, that sort of thing. Does that work? What is that actually copied? So if I go into paste mode, the dirt is part of it. Okay, that's annoying, but sure. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Have I just learnt something that we should have checked a long time ago? Okay. Okay, experiment time. Doesn't really matter. These have gone in weird spots. That's fine. So my question, and maybe this is a question we should have asked from the start, can copycat slabs or copycat blocks of any kind actually be copy pasted? So if I select here to here, right, this whole thing to copy paste, it's got copycat slabs in it and it's got cobblestone in it. I've got more cobble, I've got more copycat slabs, right? But when I go into paste mode, when I check the materials list, it only thinks I need 9 cobblestone, and when I'm attempting to place this thing, because I should have started by selecting the bottom. Let me do it from the bottom. So from there to there, right? Yeah, see, it, in terms of its pasting, it can't paste the copycat blocks. They're somehow invisible to the copy paste gadget. So what does that mean? That means that the poles themselves can't be copied, and neither can these slabs here, but the rest are fine. Like it's the road surface that gets copied. Let's have a nap. It's getting too dark here. Are the converted blocks still copycat? Let's check. Let's add a texture to... Well, I don't think they are, because otherwise the pole would have copied, right? So if I add texture to them, so there we go. And let's just break these guys. So now these copycat slabs have like a block applied to them. So if I go into copy mode and we copy from there to there, these 18 blocks. Let me just check. There we go. So from there to there, those 18 blocks. And I go into paste mode. No, it still doesn't copycat. It still doesn't paste the copycat slabs, even with a textured block in them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So there's a lesson to be learnt here. I'm not sure what it is, but there's a lesson to be learnt here. And that simply means our copy pasting for the cables works fine, but that's kind of useless. For the whole telegraph pole, we're going to have to manually recreate them each time, which is fine. And the gutter system, these slabs, we're going to have to manually do each time. But the actual flint blocks are fine. So it's more, yeah, when we copy paste this to tile the road system, it's going to do the heavy lifting for us for the whole road surface. It's just not going to do some of these like, you know, affectations and things. Okay. Okay. That is now known. Well then, let us recreate that over here. I believe that's 5 high. It's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's definitely 6. Okay. 6 high, with a slab on top. And yep, this is where we find out the things that we don't have. So we need stairs. Which is this here. Now, possibly relevant question. Will framed blocks work? I don't know what that is. But yes, I was about to say, so possibly relevant question then. Can we recreate this out of something that's not using copycat blocks? Like, is there a way to build this with just like regular posts and things? I'll put this bit here together. Put our cabling and stuff under it. And these. So that's a telegraph pole. Alright. Pair them in line. Frame blocks, same thing, different mod. Okay, so that's not how you spell frame. Steel frame, or frame, framed glass. We're looking at here. Framed. Because there's a million things in here that say frame. So they're just a bunch of facades. Yep. That's the windmill sail frame. Okay, so yeah, so there's framed woods here from chipped. So framed living wood planks, framed oak planks, framed warped planks. But that's a style. That's not a type of block. That's just like a texture. Then of course you get the framed glass. Ooh, framed torch. Very fancy. I think possibly the one you're thinking of, Gabby, might not be in here, unfortunately, because this doesn't look like you know, when I'm typing in the copycat, yes, you get like all these different variant sort of things. So if we just take these stripped logs as is, obviously like they're a full log block. If I was wanting to actually make a post out of them, the warped frame fence, then they go back to the plank texture, not the log texture. There's no way to get the log texture to be thinner like this. It would be full block width, which would be way too fat. And if I did it as just as a fence post, it would be too thin and it'd be the wrong texture. So unfortunately, I don't think there's an easy way out of this. Yep. You could search slope to find the mod. Slope, yeah. Nah, so we've got the different types of copycat slopes, but yeah. Never mind. Well, I might be able to live with a bit of manual work. That's okay. So now that we've done that, let's toy around with what it would look like to copy paste this whole thing as a floor setup here. So if I just went copy paste from, and of course we want to go into copy mode, from here through to, whoops, jetpack, to here. So that sort of thing. Those 256 blocks there. Alright. We go into paste mode. Check out our materials list. Yeah, we need all this sort of stuff. 96 black concrete. Yep. Concrete powder. Flint blocks. These things. Absolutely. We just need a bunch more railed black concrete. And we can paste ourselves a heap of these chunks. So, yeah, let's get ourselves a lot of this sort of stuff. And maybe paste a couple of these around and then just sort of see what this looks like with a little bit more scale to things. So, if I let's tidy up the inventory a little bit. We've got a lot of things on us that we don't need. So, and of course we've got a jetpack going because I'm refusing to unbind the key for some reason. That can go there, that can go there. The iron plate we didn't end up using. Could put the rest of that back in the computer. We're going to need the flint blocks. Let's put some of this back. So, we'll still need that. The stripped logs, let's just turn them all into planks. And more planks. We don't actually need any cobble for what we're doing. We don't need any more. Oh, we do actually for making some stuff. So we'll need the zinc ingots for making some of these things. Don't need that. Don't need that. We'll need that. And the dirt's just dirt. Okay. That's fine. So, wrong button. So we've got a load of black concrete. We've got black concrete powder. We could do with getting more of that. We've got a bunch of flint blocks in our backpack. Oh, look at that. Look at all those copycat slabs we've got there. Beautiful. We've got a heap of them. It's just the railed black concrete. So that's just, yep, the black concrete in a thingamy. Alright. So let's do that. That one there, railed black concrete. Okay. Right. To save time when doing the copycat blocks, I think if you have the copycat block in your main hand and the texture block in your offhand, they'll combine in one click. That seems fun. Let's have a nap while we consider that. So, well, we're going to need to strip some more of these. But, yep, if I put that in the offhand and that in the main hand, look at that. Nice. Placing it down just does more of that. And if I right click with like my tool or something, I can, with my offhand, rotate the textures. Perfect. Thanks for the efficiency tip there, Gabby. If I'm anything, it's it's efficient. I don't think that's true at all. I like to pretend I am. Okay. Let me do a paste. And of course, it needs to be lower. Now here's the next thing. When I do a paste there, it's gonna delete all that dirt. Well, it's not, because I've got replace blocks void drops turned off. This is now a question of just how mental do I want to be about this. in terms of collecting this dirt. Like this is the chunk border, isn't it? Yes. Try rotating the block before doing the rest. See if they're all placed rotated the same way too. Yeah, okay, now that's fair because I did just spam stuff down. So worth checking. Oh, that's over there. Oh, and yeah, and this is going to happen actually. Yep, the grass is going to spread. I'm not even thinking about that. I've got to kind of do this sort of fast. Okay. Oh. Oh no. Don't spread. Don't spread. There. There we go. Right. Okay, so now when we got to paste this down, I can paste right there. That windmill clipped me. It did. That naughty windmill. Right about there. So ready for a paste. 3, 2, 1, paste. Look at that. Road. Because of course, yeah, we can't do these bits. Can't do the poles. But that just makes the road out of our blocks in our bag. Brilliant. Weird effect happens to the railed lines there in the distance. Okay, so having done that, we just throw these down ourselves manually as little guide blocks. And then we can do our little copycat slabs using our offhand trick that we just learned. There we go, look at that. That's really efficient. And I'm going to need a heap more of them. But they're in my bag, aren't they? Yep. Oh. Didn't even notice. But I have a heap of them in my bag too. Yeah, I think I can live with having to manually do some of that by hand if it means I get all this other stuff for free. So just to mark out the telegraph poles without actually putting them in, and I might want to see the chunk position again so I don't get myself confused. It would be, oh no, don't do it with that in the offhand. Do it with that in the offhand. And of course it's the wrong way. Because why wouldn't it be the wrong way? Like that. Right. So from relative perspective, that's where the next set of poles would be. In both of these spots here. And looking at the map, that's another one in the same orientation, going across that way. So let's attempt to paste it again in that next chunk over there. If I can think that through, it's this chunk here, this one. Next week is going to be a job of like working out corners, because we're just not going to have the time to do that this week. And speaking of next week, I actually said this at the start of the stream, now that I remember, while there was no one here yet. We have to take a pause for next week. Hopefully not for 3 or 4 weeks in a row, like last time this happened. At this stage it's looking like just the 1 week off. So keep everyone on in bated breath or something, however the expression goes, until we get back in a fortnight's time, hopefully. Nope, it's connected. Oh wow, a lot of that's connected. I can literally do that by hand. Oh, that's all connected too now. Oh dear. There. Alright, so... Oh, we've got a jetpack on again. And of course, that's going to keep happening because we're copy-pasting, so let me just take it off. So, if I attempt to paste now, another block would go there. Do we have all of our materials? We do. We've got enough. Then let's do it. Let's paste another block right there in the same orientation. Oh no. Ooh, no. We were 1 block out. Well, that's bound to happen at some point. Can I paste again and look at the correct block this time? And it won't override anything, alright? Because, so, you know, what have I got? I've only got 10 railed concrete on me. So it's going to let me do that, right? Because it's only going to use 2 up. So if I go there, paste. Yeah, I've got 8. It hasn't, like, attempted to put them on top of others because I've got it set to not void blocks. Right. So there's a strip there. This is a corner one that turns this way. This is a corner one that turns this way. And if we're maintaining this exact same kind of setup here, take that out of there for now, then it's 1, 2, 3, that one, 1, 2, 3, that one. It's on these ends here. Have a quick nap. I can feel that sun going down. Yes, an S bend in Minecraft. This is our most ambitious crossover yet. The crossing over of 2 bits of road. Put that in the offhand. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, we need more of that. Right. So on the map, at least, if I stand out the way, we're getting somewhere. Alright. We've got that sort of stuff going on now. we could attempt to rotate it, try a rotate and put a piece there, so we can just see how this looks rotated. Because literally, now it's questions about corners, which we might have to just build by hand, so that we can work out what it would look like. I wonder if I just clear these two chunks here, just so I can turn a corner and sort of see how this looks rotated. I'll have to think though about what this is going to look like with the 4, with the 3, 1, 3, 1. Yeah, what way that looks when things are rotated. Let's dump some of this dirt in the computer. Let's do a little bit of terraforming. I feel like I'm doing everything I can to in a sense not not build the corners this stream. Or let's put the poles in. So it would be here and here if we're keeping the same pattern. So it's these two chunks. Yes, this one and that one that we'd ideally like cleared, which lends itself into a hole and all sorts of things. So got all sorts of stuff to deal with here. What am I doing? I'm not even at the edge of the chunk. Yeah, that's better. And that's the edge of the chunk that way. Yep. Okay. Osmium. I'll take that. Always need a bit of osmium for mechanism. Shovel broke. I thought we had a second shovel. Well, that was the second shovel. Okay. That's fine. Computer's literally right there. Let's just make ourselves 2 shovels. And look at that, there's 500 iron in there. Because, of course, everything's just ticking away nicely. Because we're off building things. So now passive generation's really ramping up. So yeah, it's this chunk that we're heading to the end of, so it's this corner. Just so I can tell when we get here. It's this corner. Nothing's gonna stand in the way of progress, not even these natural rock formations. Oh, I should have seen that coming. Now we're like stuck in a tunnel. Something that I will sort of think through as part of this terraforming project is that if necessary, as we start to like dig into a bit of the landscape, we might try to be a bit creative with some of this. Like we might have like a little bit of sort of tunnel under some natural terrain. Like, I don't know that I want to completely just carve into everything. It'd be nice to sort of try and blend a little bit at least into what's happening. For now, I'm just in destroy everything mode. Play some actual Minecraft and do some mining. Whoop. 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 That was unexpected. I jump scared myself there. Oh, also, I'm getting hungry because I have no golden carrots in my backpack. That's interesting. At some point, we have to put some more food in there. If I copy a bunch of air above the road and set the copy paste avoider, it will clear it for me. You're right, it will. I can void all of this terrain. And that will get rid of it. For some reason, a part of me doesn't want to lose materials, even though it's literally stone and dirt. And we do have a cobblestone generator making stone faster than I can mine it. And why would you ever need dirt? But, yeah. You raise a very good question. We could just void this whole area. Once I've carved this nice kind of barrier around everything, I'll just vein mine the whole thing. And we'll be set. Also, why am I hearing baddies? Oh, is it just these guys? I was gonna say. Yeah, I was getting concerned there for a minute. Oh, hello. I was hearing many people. Yeah, I'll need all this dirt later to build the mountain my road's gonna tunnel under. Exactly, Katooth. Toner? Hello? You got a sleep charm. Wards off the effects of insomnia. That's interesting. What are the effects of insomnia? Phantoms? Does this mean I will never get phantoms? That's interesting. Hello up there. Let us attempt to mine / undermine as much of this as possible. And in fact, maybe before we do all this, I'm going to need to eat. So maybe we start by getting some gold out of there. Let's just turn all that off. Get some gold out of here. Make some golden carrots. Put them in the bag. Do some eating. Because we've now got so much stuff that we're actually overloading the stacks. Wow. 64 gold. How do I make the golden carrots again? Oh, they're nuggets. Oh, perfect. So 64 does a lot. And let me take that out of my offhand, because that's going to get in all sorts of trouble. Carrots, carrots. Bam, bam, bam. Bam. 4 stacks of carrots. Oh, that only made 32. Of course it only made 32. Okay, there's a stack of it. I already had a 1,000 carrots in the computer. Of course I did. So let's put this in here. And there we go. We've instantly eaten one. Beautiful. Alright. So, as I attempt to shave this down a bit so that I can vein mine this, just disconnecting it from everything. Of course, it's sleep time as well. Yeah, that's fine. Sleep on the job. This guy will be getting pretty concerned up here. Okay. That seems fine. Yep. Oh, and we're full. Chuck some dirt in there. Bit of cobble. How are we going? Are these top ones filling up yet? No, they are all still empty. That's fine. Happy to see that. Coal. Oh. Oh. That's interesting. We found a naturally occurring Lewis hole that time. Let's just do that. Oh, we lost one. No. Right. Bam. Okay. Oh, have you... You have. You've dropped one of you guys. You'll be right. Okay. What's that other vein mine key? That would be the one to be doing now. Small tunnel. That's the one I want. No! I tried to not let that happen. Wait a minute. Oh, I thought I had my jetpack on for a second then. No, I've literally taken it off. Yeah, everything's disappearing around you. Huh? No, I'd be pretty confused too. No, you are actually still connected by a lead. You are still in the team. Okay, is that now fully floating? I think it is. Which means we can go back to shapeless. Do that. There we go. And then the coal. Nice. Okay. Bit of raw osmium. Bit of flint. Because it's not like we're short on flint. And apparently we just didn't pick that coal up. Now, of course, we've also got to mine down one layer deeper than all this, which I sort of didn't think about, to embed this in the ground. And I'm about to break my pick again. So it's this chunk that we're doing it in. So if I just do this in each of the corners, why haven't I made a stack of picks? That is a very good question, Katooth. I do not have a good answer. Oh, that's why it's happening. It's my free runners have step assist turned on. That's what's happening. How long has that happened? Probably ever since I pushed V and B and played around with other keys and stuff. F. Yep. Safety. Disabled. Regular. Safety. Safety's the one I want. So it doesn't have step assist, but still saves me from fall damage. Right, so if I go up here, and jump off. Right, that's better. That's better. That explains why everything was behaving like that before. That makes sense now. I was wondering why things were stepping up weird. Like that there. And like, oops, sorry, llama. That there. And then we're good to go. Alright. More. You're struggling now. More spammers in the chat. And what else is that there? Ban them. Why haven't you made a pile of picks? Yes. You can avoid the stone. You got a stone farm. That is true. Actually, I do have a stone farm. So that is almost pointless. We're gonna bury this coal, just show our, I don't know, decadence or something. All right, so let me take that off. Well, I don't know why I've gone this way. Dump a load of stuff in the computer. I'm going to make another pick while this one's sitting there ready for me. Do, 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 do. Okay. Right. So that's there. So, you're going to be in trouble in a sec, mate. So, if we get our copy-paste gadget out, and we go into here, we don't have enough of some of these things. So, black concrete powder and railed black concrete. Right. Okay. So, railed black concrete is just do a bunch of this black concrete and make it railed. That's easy. Yeah, he's really going to struggle when a road gets pasted on him. Indeed. 1.4k cobble, is that how much we had? I didn't even look. Yep. And 3.6k dirt. Nearly as much dirt as sugarcane. And we are passively producing mountains of sugarcane. So, that just goes to show. Now, the black concrete powder, that's like gravel and sand and stuff, isn't it? Black concrete powder. Yeah, it was this. I can only make 24 because what? That's a piece of sand I'm out of, is it? Yeah, I got loads of gravel, but I need to crush more gravel into sand, and I need to crush more cobble into gravel. There we go. This is why we've got a a large supply of cobble. 4 stacks of cobble. Let's stick some things in our thing. We should set up a dedicated, like sand maker maybe. That can get progressively crushed into gravel, and then crushed again into sand, and that way I'm not depleting my gravel supply. But I think that was all we were specifically missing. Oh, we're low on the actual black concrete now because, of course, I turned some of it into the railed stuff. So when we make a bunch of the black concrete powder, we just, we just wash it to make black concrete. Yep, that's fine. It's all part of the same cycle. Oh, don't look at that with the paste gadget out. I don't want to start pasting a road in the sky. Watch out for that cog too. That's crushing away nicely. Done. Alright. There we go. How much will be short? Not much. Enough that I might just turn this into it. It was washing, wasn't it? Yes, bulk washing. So we go over to the washer. We wash that while we wait for this. Oh yeah, and we're also going to get flint and clay as a byproduct. Perfect. More stuff we don't need. There we go. So that's got us a bit more black concrete to go in the backpack. Yep. Might as well take those slabs out since we're actively using them. Don't know why I've got all that dirt in there, but that's fine. We can have dirt in there. There's our 4 stacks of sand. And some bonus bits. That guy's still bouncing along. There we go. 200 or so sand. So now... oh, how are we on black dye? We got like 47 of that. How are we making black dye? Oh, literally charcoal. Oh, of course. Or haunting white dye. But yeah, okay. And we got no charcoal, so we should have been doing that as well. Wood that we have lots of. Walnut. I can, oops, not like that, not like that. I can put you in the bog blaster and make charcoal. Good. You're not some weird wood that I can't do that to. Alright. Should have had that going too. Chicken on you. Did I give you stuff before? I must have, because you've made a few extra things. Sort. There you go. Merge them back together. You haven't given me any more ender pearls or anything, but that's fine. I'll give you an entire stack of gold. How about that? How's that feel? Seeing as that we've got so much of it in there. Let me sort. There we go. Sort of stuff everywhere. But yeah. Nice. And how are you going? Oh, you're done. Easy. It would be cool to make a create machine that started at the cobble gen and outputted gravel, sand, and clay for making building blocks for the factory. Yeah. There's a weird chicken and egg kind of thing here where you make a factory to make the factory kind of thing. But I do like where you're coming from. Like I get that. That does make sense. And of course this makes 8, doesn't it? So we just have this for days. There we go. There's 4 stacks of that, and let's turn some of that. Let's wash some of that. Turn some of it back into concrete as well. So we should have more than enough now to make what we need. I'll put the flint blocks in there too. Yeah. Half a stack of various things, 1 stack of that, 1.5 stacks of that. I'll let this finish up. I'll have to get close to wrapping this up in a sec. We've been going over our 3 hours now, so we're doing not too bad. Alright, llama, you better watch out. We're coming. And we need to decide what orientation to do things in. So, our 4 are coming this way. If we're turning... Do we want our 4 here as well? Or do we want it facing the other way? And because of course it will change on this side. It's going to make a nightmare. Like, this is going to be bad. I think we need to have a north, south, east, west convention. Like, this is the east-west convention. He says, boldly confident that that is east. Yes, east-west, yeah. This is our east-west convention of having the block on the westernmost side. So I think we need to establish a north-south convention. And it might just be as simple as we have the block on the north side, which means on this side going in here we've got a block and stuff, And on this side going here, we've got like a block and a gap. And that's just what it is. It's always going to be like that for T intersections or four-way intersections or something, just because this isn't mirror symmetric within itself. It's like tile symmetric. So it's always going to get a bit weirdly synced at junctions. So I think, yeah, rather than just flipping things willy-nilly, I think we just set a north-south convention and east-west convention. We go from there. And then teach the computer the recipes for the blocks you like, and then infinite building blocks. Yes. Yes, that's right. So, copy paste time. Alright, so we're going to do a rotate. Let's have a look at that. And of course the rotate makes no difference actually, because we're putting this on ourselves after the fact. So that's now going down here. So I'm also, don't worry llama, I'm also going to stand in here with you. And I'm also going to get my feet chopped off as this happens. There's no way to do it. There is. Whoop, don't throw it. Continue to rotate it further. And then come up and stand up here and do it. There we go. Now my feet are safe. Alright, Mr. Llama. Get ready. There we go. You're now jumping inside of the road. Good job. You don't care at all. You're just in there. Excellent. And of course it's bedtime, because it's always bedtime around here. That thing's going to really jump scare me. Have a nap. Put in a couple of copycat blocks along the edges there. For which I fear we probably don't have enough flint blocks. Which is fine, we'll just go get more. Because when you include the copycat ones, we've got to do a full 16 and a full 16 on that side. So we need 32 more of these, yeah, each time. So that's fine. We're doing this because we have ridiculous quantities of flint, and they're probably in the computer, the ridiculous quantities of flint. Yeah. Yeah, there's 2 more stacks of that. Right. So put that in the offhand. Put these into that hand. Well, yes, put these in that hand. And let's... So establishing our convention like that. So this is the north-south convention. And then for the rest of these, we just do our regular slabs. Whoa, 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 that's not what we want. Oh. Offhand doesn't get refilled. He says as he puts exactly 2 in his offhand. Okay. There, and there. That one, that one, that one. That one, and that one. Right, and where's our pole ones? We never had any. Never had any more. What are they? Copycat beam. Okay, let's get a couple more copycat beams just so we can put the reference point for them in. So based on how we've rotated this, they're here. To keep the rotation sort of tiling the same. Okay. Right. So within that, we've got a bit of stuff going here now. Alright. I guess in these two spots here we could also paste more road in, technically. How much time do we want to take? Kind of see the zigzag starting to happen. We're going to have to call this a wrap pretty soon. Is this a simple one to clear? It looks pretty simple. Let's see how quickly I can clear this. And oh, we're already doing it. Perfect. So alright. And once again, we've got to go down one block within things. Wait. That was coming way further than I thought it was going to. Oh no. No, 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 no. Why would it do that? Get these corners chopped out. And again, there is just stuff under here because this is just natural Lewis hole territory. Which means we're about to make a terrible design decision and just decide to ignore a huge hole because we're getting close to ending things. What's going on here? Oh, that's what I thought was happening here. I thought that was happening. And that's just the edge of the road. What have I done? I have done that. I thought I was doing that. Ah, dear. I thought I saw that happening. Now there's something crawling on my foot. Everything's coming for me. Oh dear. It's 'cause I'm sticking longer and doing things I shouldn't be doing. The brain's starting to switch off. That was the gravel. There, that stuff. Put this back down. Okay, that's better. And deal with that at some point. And just separate that so that I can do that. Alright. Bunch of dirt down here. That's not crazy. If we bury a bit of that, we can deal with that at some other time. It's not completely locked off. It's still going to be accessible through other means. So it's horribly messy, but it's acceptable. So if I want to paste in here once more, go up to this corner now. We look down into here, and we paste here. And we've got enough, don't we? No, we don't. Nowhere near enough. That would have been disastrous. Also, speaking of disastrous, this gravel is a gravity affected block. This powder, right, isn't it? So it's just going to fall into holes if we've got them, which is fine this side, but this side, along this strip here, it's literally gonna, well, yeah, along here is where it's problematic. There we go. Fixed. That's a terrible design. But like I said, this is a problem for next time. You need to build a good foundation for your roads if you want them to last. Exactly! This is going to be full of potholes before we know it. We need to get some more of those supplies, do a paste, and then call it. Okay, so what were we short on? Somehow black concrete and the pillar deep slate bricks. Now that could be a problem. That could be a real problem. Getting more black concrete is easy. We've got concrete powder that we're just gonna dip in the water. Don't start pasting. Okay. The deep slate pillar, though. These pillar deep slate blocks. That's just straight up deep slate that we just put in the mason's thing. Now, there's no magical way to get that, right? That's just straight up mining. We're not doing Britannia. I mean, there's an igneous extruder, sure. That's just straight up mine some deep slate. That's literally what that was, wasn't it? Have a nap. Yes, exactly, Gabby. Aussie road standard. By concrete, right? So we're gonna make some of that, not all of it. Some of it to the railed stuff. There we go. Is that enough of that now? Yep, so it's just this deep slate stuff. So that should just be a matter of pop down to the mimic cave, because this is literally deep slate. Go back out here. Just do a little chunk of mining into this deep slate that is everywhere. And I'll go back to shapeless, and we're just gonna tear into the wall a bit. There we go. There's a heap of deep slate with a bit of random cobble. Throw in a torch for good measure. Call it a day. That's like 2 stacks of the stuff. When we're serious, need a heap more, we'll come back and get a heap more. Does that cobblegen mod, the one where you put the block under the thing, work for deep slate? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. So like if I go to the andesite recipe there, so custom cobble generating. Yep, so the custom cobble generating mod thing, cobblegen randomizer, only provides andesite, diorite, granite, and limestone. As a matter of fact, that's interesting. I've not used it for limestone. So they're the only ones it does as a custom thing. Otherwise, just regular stone generating just gets you stone and stuff, and regular cobblestone generating, and basalt generating. Okay. So you can make basalt on soul soil with blue ice. But yes, no. I don't think there's a deep slate way of doing it, which is fine. And this is cobbled deep slate, so I've got to this, don't I? I can't just put deep slate in there. I can't put cobbled deep slate in there. It's got to be, yeah, it's got to be the cooked one, which I can cook like that, can't I? Yep. Okay. Put it in front of the heat blaster. It's always scary going past the copy paste gadget. Probably shouldn't have it on the hotbar. It would be a sensible thing. Alright. The countdown's on. Can we get this done before midnight? Currently 11:53. We're going to race the clock. This should be our last set of ingredients. We change this over to the pillared one, and we go and do our paste and call it a day. Should be plenty of time. Cooking. I do dream of doing a better setup for this one day too, because at the moment this is all a bit just inherited from our very first ever Create platform. I do think sometimes about just making a better version of that. Deep slate. Was it railed? Deep slate. It's right. I'll just type it. Railed. No, it wasn't railed apparently. Pillar. Oh, railed is this. Railed concrete. Pillar. That's what I'm after. This one. Pillar deep slate bricks. Do that, and might as well do that as well. Right. Into the backpack with you. That bit of cobble can go in the computer. Alright, time for a paste. We stand here. We check that we've got everything we need. We do. We look down. We hit paste. We think, yep, we're fine. We hit paste. Right, so those ones did land exactly on that. Good. Alright, and by obeying our north-south convention, and I need to get these out of my backpack now that I've put them in there. By obeying our north-south convention, it's these ones. Them on the offhand, put them in there. Okay, and then similarly... Oh, I've got no warped things. I wonder how many millions of them the botany plot has made for us. Good night, Gabby. Thanks for sticking around. We're going to call it in a second anyway. Oh, look at that. Like over a stack of it. Desperately racing this clock for midnight. I'm just going to do 4 of them. Just so I can get this done. Put them in the offhand. The rest can just sit on us for a minute. Again by north-south convention. It's these 2. That one and that one. Okay. Alright. Let me put the jetpack on. So now I've been looking at this through the map. But maybe it's time we look at this from the air. So we've got a bit of sense of road network now. Alright, we've got ourselves road coming along here. It's going to snake down there and across there. We're going to have to design a T-junction there, which is actually going to be the easier one, I think, to make the T-junction. We're going to have to think creatively about the corners there. And then this becomes a bit of footprint of Jaffa factory through here. We're getting close to this guy's property up here, so that's going to be kind of scary when the great industrial sort of thing comes along. Still think I should have done a straight with no S-bend. I know. I'm really making this hard for myself with this S-bend. Not a tau intersection. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be a problem for next time, to work out what it is we've just created here. Have a nice road system going here, get a bit of the factory going through here, possibly cut into these chunks too. I'm wondering, whether the factory's going to be L-shaped, or whether I just do something in that chunk, like another naturey thing, and factory's all up here. I don't know, I kind of felt like I wanted the factory to take a bit of a corner, but it's going to be weirdly oblong. But maybe that's okay. I have to think this through. Maybe I need to start mapping this out, some grids in like a spreadsheet or something. Do a little bit of urban planning. I'm also going to have to do some investigation of our starting bit there. And with that, it's midnight. We've hit the midnight. We also need to get a thumbnail going. Maybe the thumbnail are the roads. Like, do we do the aerial shot so that we can see the roads? Something like this. Or do we go over here so we can at least see the power lines for context? I see some of the others in the distance. Might make more sense. We're also going to have to refuel this jetpack at some point. I feel like this fan is in every thumbnail though. Like, if I can get an angle that kind of cuts the fan out. Sunset is unfortunate. Let's sleep and make it morning. Sleep with the jetpack on. Just jetpack turns off. Jetpack comes back on. Sunset was perfect. Now I have to wait another day. It would have been perfect if I could have timed it exactly right, but it was going down way too quick. Something like that. If I come back a bit further, I can get something like that. So I'm trying to look directly down the windmill blade, just because, as I say, the windmill blade's in like every thumbnail. I feel like it's starting to get a little bit ugly in some of the thumbnail shots. But this shows off, you know, you see the nice chunk into the landscape there. You see our tiles. You see kind of like the road system going along there a little bit. Look like that. Let me take that shovel out of that hand. That'll let me toggle back and forth between. Oh no, I need to toggle with something in my hand. I'm forgetting how this works. It's been so long since I've done this. Like that. There we go. Alright, so somewhere in there is the thumbnail shot. Somewhere in there will be great. Okay. Got a bunch of stuff on us, that's fine. We can have a bit of a messy inventory. Let's go back. I don't know if I can count that as in being done before midnight. We got close. What am I doing? This is where jetpacks go. I can recharge the free runners since I'm constantly slapping them into the ground. They're very fast to fix. This axe is actually about to die. Let me make another axe. There we go. That's just about done. Nearly. By some definition of just about. Just clear that random chat spammer again. There we go. Almost full. I think it's 24,000. Yep. Nice. And that's filling back up. That's got endless power. So we're good to go. Let us go and stand on the spot so that we can do our sign off. Our sign off in third person. That again we didn't start in third person. we just went straight into it. I feel like I forget to do that, but that's fine. How's the jetpack look with the backpack? Yeah, the jetpack does just sort of clip through the backpack, doesn't it? If I go into reverse view, and the free runners clip through the legs, but that's fine. It's a combo jetpack backpack. Very snazzy. So yes, that's the beginning of our road system and things. We've had a good nearly 4 hours. Wow, 3 hours 50 worth of fiddling around there. We got a bunch of stuff sorted with the roads. You can see over there. We've got stuff starting to come together now. S-bends and all manner of nightmares that we've caused for ourselves in the future. But we're starting to get a little bit more of a footprint now of what the place is going to start to look like, which is nice. Shame that we can't copy-paste our copycat blocks. They sound like they should be made perfectly for copy-pasting, but apparently not. They're only good for copycatting. That's fine. We can craft some telegraph poles and things ourselves now that we've got a good design that we're happy with, and maybe it's for the better because we're going to have to do some weird stuff in the corners anyway with how all of this is going to connect up. So that is going to be some fun for next time to go through and try and sort out what a lot of that is going to look like. So with that, I'm going to say a big thank you everyone for watching. That was another stream that was Overthunk by Sharky, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.